Hello out there in video land. Let's get our audio guys going. Here are our radio guys going. Okay.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Un, deux, trois. Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Look at the phone's ringing. We're not taking calls. Get out of here. My name is Paul Kellerman. This is HABSOLUTELY coming to you live from downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. That's you. You we're talking to. And you on the radio too we're talking to.
Parlez avec tu.
See. Oui. Look at this. We in the north. We.
C'est très bien.
C'est très bien. Anyway, I'm here.
Bonjour, mon ami.
Bonjour. Comment ça va?
Je suis bien et tu?
Comment vous appelez-vous?
Je suis bien.
Comment vous appelez-vous?
Oh, je m'appelle Jean-Louis Filion.
Oh, that's my co-star over here, Jean-Louis Filion. And we're coming to you live from downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, 4680Q. Woo! I don't know, man. You're
running hot today.
I'm running hot today. And you know what? I'm not running hot over the Habs.
Because the Habs are not.
No, the Habs are the strongest team in the league.
They're holding it up.
They're holding the whole league up.
They're in the basement.
We got the strongest team in the league right now. They're holding the whole league up, and you got to love it. What draft picks are we going to get?
Well, Calgary draft picks, maybe.
Oh, my goodness.
First overall.
What happened to this team?
You know, those draft picks they're really shining for us, aren't they?
Well, the draft picks that we drafted are playing great hockey. Let's face it. I mean, we're in last. We're minus 21. We're playing at about a 250 clip. Yeah, I'd say it's all working out. Am I wrong? I guess I am. Well, the Evil 8 is just about over, John. The Evil 8 that I called it. The Evil 8 is just about over.
I was thinking about that this morning. I was thinking, gee, I think you said we were going to lose 3 games,
yes.
I think, right?
Yes.
And I said we were going to win 2, and I think we won 1.
No, we won 2.
We did?
Oh, no, we won 1. That's right.
Yeah, we won 1.
I was dreaming there for a minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, we won 1, the Buffalo Sabre game, which was a beautiful, beautiful AHL contest. Whoever was worst lost. And
whoever gets the puck, whoever shoots the puck last wins the game.
Both goaltenders got pulled. What a slobber
Absolutely.
knocker.
Yeah, again, whoever shoots the puck last wins the game.
But we've lost 10 of the last 13. And that's basically what I predicted. And it doesn't get better. Minnesota next, then reprieve as we face Columbus on November 16th at the Bell Center. We might be able to beat them, maybe.
But at one point, maybe a month before the season started,
there
was a lot of conjecture that the Habs would make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, well, I said let's wait for the first 20 games. I was very, very hopeful with Lonnie in the lineup, but he got hurt. And then we saw how the first 20 games are going here, and they're not going really, really good. Just to be totally honest with everybody. So you have to change your opinion on where they're going to end up. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's time to get real about this team.
Well, it really is. And I always give a team 20 games, because you never know. They might have a first 2 or 3 games. They're getting back on the ice and everything else. But your first 20 games is a pretty good indicator of where you're going for the year. I mean, your quarter of the season is over. And you say, okay, well, if we're 500 or maybe just a little bit above it, okay, well, we're right in the mix. We're right in the mix, once we get skating and the lines get mixing and everything else. But when you've won 3 games out of 16,
and you won the first game.
Yeah, well, that was the best game to watch. But then we got trounced the other night by Toronto. And what have we won here? I got it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 games, 5 games out of the first 16, which means we lost 11.
So we're 16 games in.
We're 16 games in.
And that to me that's as good as 20, really.
Yeah, and basically, you're calling a win against Minnesota. Well, you called all wins, let's face it.
Well, yeah, I'm a Habs fan.
And I called all losses, and I'm a Habs fan. But I don't know. Can we beat Minnesota? I don't think so. Columbus, no. Oilers? Vegas? Are we up to that? I don't think so. And we're on the road for Columbus Oilers. No, they're home games. Okay, we got a little good advantage. Columbus Oilers of Vegas.
What's the advantage?
I don't know. I wish I could tell you.
I don't know if there's a home ice advantage right now, to be honest.
But we're going to talk about all that. I mean, but it's been dismal. Let's face it, everybody. I mean, we're telling the truth here. This is not the way any team wants to start. And in the NHL, when you get too far behind, even into 20 games, it's very, very, very hard to catch up because of two things: the 3-point system, and the good teams really get rolling come January and February. They really start skating and everybody's back in, game shape and everything else. And the games get tougher as we close on into March because they're tightening up for the playoffs, right?
Well, the games become more important.
And they become more important, yeah. So if you're way behind at this point, and a really good example was the Boston Bruins last year. They had an easy schedule for the first 20 games, and they piled on the points. And then they didn't do so good the rest of the year, but they had so many points at the start of the year, it didn't matter.
They'd banked some points.
Yeah, basically. They bagged a lot of points. And by that time, I was figuring it out last year in December that they only had to win like 50% of their games after 20 games or something. And they'd probably make the playoffs because they had to get the 90 points, 95 points. So that's the advantage of having a really good jump on the league when you start. And, 5 out of 16, that's not a really good jump. As a matter of fact, it puts us in the hole so far. It's going to be very, very hard. I mean, we got to win. And I was saying this last year, we're going to have to be winning at like a 750 clip. Now we're right now at about 250. So how are we going to get to 750 with this team? I mean, I just don't see it. And I know I love to see Cole Caulfield leading the league in goals, Rocket Richard Trophy, but I have to look that up for a trivia question. How many Rocket Richard Trophy winners came in last place?
Ooh, probably none.
I would say none, but hey, weirder things have happened.
Weirder things might happen.
Yeah, like so.
Weirder things could happen.
Maybe this will be a first for Montreal Canadiens as well, right? So, but we're gonna talk about all that later.
Yeah, that's a lot of dismal news so early. So early in the show.
So let's have some good news here.
Yes,
let's have some good news.
Yes,
let's go after some good news with Habs trivia.
Habs trivia. Thank goodness.
We're gonna have some good news. Well,
there's always good news when you look into the past.
Yes, and lots of good news there. I mean, I turned my clock back, and I wish I could turn it back to like 1955.
Oh,
and start all over again. But I think we need some positive vibes. And
absolutely.
And because we're such an important show, and everybody watches it, all the team watches, the coaches watch, Hughes watches, Gorton watches. They all watch our show. Absolutely.
They might not be watching much after today.
Well, maybe they're going to get fired. Molson might go crazy, crack a couple beers. Let's get some positive vibes going here.
I think he's been drinking non-alcoholic beer.
We know when the Habs' longest losing streak was because we talked about that last week, right?
Yes.
12-game losing streak. But what
here we go.
What did the Habs' longest winning streak of, interestingly enough, 12 games? We had a 12-game losing streak, but we also
had a 12-game winning streak.
That's right. And when did that happen, John? That's my question. I'm going to give you some dates.
12-game winning streak, 12-game losing streak. Well, I'm already thinking about that one.
Okay. 1957-58.
Great year for the Habs.
Great year for the Habs.
Absolutely.
1976-77, the year we only lost 8 games.
Maybe an even better year.
1967-68, year we won the Stanley Cup.
Great year as well.
So many great years for the Habs. This is going to be a tough one.
Yes.
1999-2000. The Y2K year.
Yeah, I don't think that's the year. I don't think so.
So 57-58.
So 57-58.
76-77.
Yeah, I mean that like we lost the cup to the Leafs 66-67, and then we regained momentum after that.
And then we won it Yes, instead of 67, 68.
And that was expansion.
Oh,
right?
there were some good teams. Yeah, it was.
That was expansion.
That was expansion.
Um,
6 teams. I think.
Yeah, 6-12,
Yeah, 6-12. 6-team expansion. That's right.
and then that team in the 70s, phenomenal. I mean,
We lost 8 games all year. I think we won every home game.
Your money's got to be on that team.
Okay, what do you think out there in video land? Should I save the answer to the end of the show so they have a chance to think about it?
No.
I know, I'm too excited. I can't stand it.
Let's get to the deets.
Okay, well, what do you think out there? 1957-58 team, 76-77 team, a tremendous team. 67-68, we won the Stanley Cup, and 1999-2000, which we had a really good team too.
Yeah, I'm leaning with the 70s team.
Okay. The correct answer is 1967-68.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, and we won the Stanley Cup that year. See what a good start gets you. 12 games in a row.
And when did they win those 12 games? When during the season?
1967-68.
No. What period during the season?
We're moving fast here.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that I don't know.
Oh.
But I'll tell you one thing. On January, I do know.
Okay.
See, I thought you were going to ask that question. I wrote it down, but I couldn't remember. On January the 6th, 1968, the Habs beat the New York Rangers 5-2.
Right.
So in the new year, on the Epiphany, starting a 12-game winning streak where they refused to lose until February the 4th, when they lost a 3-0 game to, ironically enough, the New York Rangers.
Fabulous.
So they beat the Rangers 5-2 to start the 12-game winning streak. And the
Rangers defeated them 3-0 to end
the winning streak. Can you imagine?
That's great.
Now, the same team that started the streak was the New York Rangers, and that was the team that ended the streak.
Fabulous.
The Habs stood at 26-14 record at the time, so 26 wins, 14 losses, and went on to win another 7 games in a row. If they didn't lose that game 3-0 to the Rangers, they would have had a 21-game winning streak, which would have beat the existing winning streak in the NHL right now.
Amazing.
So that record of 20 wins in 21 games in that stretch remains one of the most memorable runs in NHL history. And of course, runs like this reflect the team on the ice. And that team was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be Jean Beliveau, Henri Richard.
Oh, I'll tell you who was on the team. You're going to love this.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we know the coach was Toe Blake.
Toe was still there.
And start naming them off. Well, I'll check them off as you name them.
Was the Gumper there?
The Gumper was there.
Vachon
was there. That's 2 out of all of them.
Okay, so Beliveau and Richard.
Yes.
Mahavlich.
The Pocket Rocket. No, Mahavlich wasn't on there.
No Mahavlich yet. Backstrom.
Backstrom was there.
J.C. Tremblay.
Was there.
Yes. Terry Harper.
Terry Harper was there.
Nice. Terry Harper. Oh boy, he's the man, eh? Who else would have been playing defense back then? I guess
Mimi.
The Roadrunner. Ivan Croyer.
That's right. Mimi. Yes, he was there. Tough guy.
Jacques Lemaire?
Jacques Lemaire was there.
Wow, what a team,
tough guy. A tough guy, or toughest guy ever.
Jean Ferguson.
That's right. He was on the team. Jean Ferguson, one of our tough guys.
Wow. It's an incredible team when you think about it.
And I'll give you the others. Jacques Lapierre.
C'est magnifique.
I mean, look at this team. No wonder we won. Oh, Bobby Rousseau.
Numero 5.
And the other guy, Serge Savard.
Savard was already there, right?
Yeah.
Amazing.
And another guy who should be in the Hall of Fame and he isn't, Claude Provo.
Yes, we discussed that.
Claude Provo. He was on that team. I mean, when you look at this all-star lineup, and Ted Harris, too, if you remember Ted Harris.
Big guy.
Big guy, tough guy, too, on defense, right? Now, when you look at this team, and you say they won 12 in a row and could have won 21 in a row, and they won the Stanley Cup that year, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Why wouldn't they? And like I said, the longest NHL winning streak was 17 games held by the Pittsburgh Penguins in the 1992-93 season, with Edmonton just missing last season in 24 at 16 games. They just missed tying the record and beating it last year.
Wow.
Edmonton Oilers.
That's incredible.
Did we win the cup in 92, 93, or 93, 94?
92, 93.
Yeah, so they have the longest winning streak, Pittsburgh, but the Habs, we won the cup. We won the cup. That's right. So I don't care about winning streaks, but we do care about losing streaks.
Oh, it all comes down to winning the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
That's it. And that's what I say. Like, people are talking a lot online, talking about, Caulfield leading the NHL in goals and could win the Rocket Richard Trophy. And I'm going, that's great. And I'm happy for the kid.
That would truly be great.
I'm happy for the kid, But the thing is, at the end of the day, it's the team. Like 13 goals, and when we're in maybe second or third in our division or fighting for a wild card place would be awesome.
I'm so happy that Cole is having the season he is having.
Want to hear something weird?
Yes.
He's got 12 goals.
Okay.
Okay, and who are we playing next?
We are playing Minnesota Wild.
Okay, say he doesn't get a goal.
Okay.
And then we play Columbus, and he gets a goal.
Right.
That'll be his 13th goal.
Mm-hmm.
Number 13.
Mm-hmm.
After Goudreau, who played for Columbus, who was number 13.
That's scary.
That's eerie. And I never made this up, everybody. Somebody else online, I read it. So that was... Yeah, wow. I'm just going, wow, that's really eerie. He misses scoring against Minnesota, but he comes back and hits a 13th. Again, he had 13 goals against Columbus.
It's going to be, what's going to be interesting is how he is received in Columbus.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic.
I never even thought about that.
They're going to love it. When he steps on the ice with number 13, it's going to be something else.
I mean,
the crowd's going to go crazy. You know it.
The first thing out of Shea Weber's mouth the other night was about the Goudreau brothers. First thing.
There you go.
Says so much.
Yeah, it says so much. And I just can't imagine him hitting Columbus without that cannon going off and everybody going crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and well-deserved, too. I mean, he's not only a good hockey player, he's inspired by number 13. I think that inspires him a lot.
I mean, he's playing like we expected him to play last year.
Yeah.
He's living up to what we expected.
So I'm really happy about all this as far as Caulfield goes. But
he is one of the shining lights.
Yeah. And Suzuki, too. I mean, Suzuki got 4 points last game.
Suzuki.
He's coming around.
Yeah, but it's a little more streakier than Cole.
Yeah. Well, right now, anyway.
And Susie I love, but Susie's got to step it up in many ways. Not just on the ice, but I think he's got to step it up
as a
off
captain.
The ice. Absolutely.
As a captain, right?
And
you're not the first guy to say that.
I mean,
you're right.
Yeah, I said that last week or 2 weeks ago. I wanted Susie to have a meeting, call everybody in.
That's
have a
right.
Team meeting.
You did say that.
And I don't think he's done that as yet. I think there is some interesting conjecture, some speak about the Canadiens in the media this week, talking about his role as a captain and speaking to Shea Weber. So, I mean, Shea, and actually Pacioretty. So I think at one point, one of the reporters had spoken to Pacioretty and said, hey, you're the captain. You got to, what's going on? Are you where are you at with the team? And Max's reply was, you know what? How can I go to this team when I'm playing the poorest I've ever played? How can I be a leader of this team? And so this reporter had gotten that comment back from Pax, I guess 10 years ago or whatever. And so he took it to Cole and said, or not Cole, to Susie. And he said, hey, can you relate to this? And he said, absolutely. I
absolutely. He said.
Absolutely. I don't feel good about the way I'm playing. So it's very hard for me to go out and speak to the rest of the gang.
Yeah, he's got to be honest.
But he's got to get over that.
I'm playing like a bum, but that doesn't mean you have to.
He's got to get past that because a captain has to be a leader.
Yeah, regardless of where they're going.
And last week, in hindsight, we spoke about the fact that, maybe we should have had a different guy be captain.
No, one guy who's performing and who's respected by everybody.
And that's the guy.
And that's Brendan Gallagher.
Absolutely. And Gallagher continues.
He's at 6 goals.
He's relentless right now. And you know what? It's not like he's doing anything like out of the norm. What he's actually doing is he's playing the norm. He's doing everything he should do.
Yeah. And
he's playing such great positional hockey.
He really is. He's playing smarter because he can't get banged around as much, but he's effective. He's still in front of that net.
He knows exactly where to be with that puck. He's got amazing puck sense right now, and he is like dead serious. Like he comes to work to do business.
That's right.
And that's what we're missing right now with this team.
And I think that I don't know what's going to happen because obviously this is not a good start and not everybody's happy, but there has to be something to shake up this team. And I don't know what it's going to be. They're talking about getting another goaltender. Our goalies have really been bad. I mean, they've been really, really bad. When you start pulling goalies every game the goalie gets pulled, it seems, right? And we've got to take care of that situation. Plus our D's got to tighten up a bit. And our
D's
guys
got to tighten up a lot.
Yeah, and our guys have to start playing better. I know they got 7 goals the other night. Okay, but it was against the Sabres. They're perennial losers.
Well, I mean, they got really 6 goals, right?
Yeah,
and the Sabres got 5.
And by the way, Susie got an assist on that empty net goal.
Well, let's talk about that goal.
Okay, well, do you want to talk about it now?
Let's talk about that goal
games?
Let's talk about that goal now.
Let me get over there.
Because that actually speaks to the climate that we're in, the culture on the ice. So the score is 6-5, and the puck comes free. We're playing with an empty. Buffalo has an empty net.
Yep.
We're headed towards it.
Yep.
Suzuki has 2 goals.
He stumbles
and falls down. Anderson's got the puck. But Anderson is kind of like, I don't even know if Anderson actually ever touched the puck. He's like going, hey, Susie, do you want to make a hat trick here?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Do you want to have a hat trick? Meanwhile, Buffalo is skating like crazy coming back to grab the puck.
Yeah.
And we almost don't even net a goal.
Yeah.
And neither Anderson nor Susie get a goal. And I think it was
Dvorak
puts the puck in the net.
And I think Suzuki passed it to
Dvorak him. Dvorak may be leading the team in empty net goals.
Yeah, 2.
Exactly. He has 2, and they've scored 2.
And that's all the goals they've had.
And that's all Dvorak's had. That Dvorak has had. You can't play hockey like that. There's no aggression in this team right now. It's like, you got to do everything to win. It's like, take no prisoners.
Yeah, like, I mean, he should have shot the puck in the net.
As soon as Anderson should have said, he's down, screw him, I'm putting the puck in the net.
That's right, exactly.
Done. I got 2 goals.
That's right.
Then he would have had 2 goals. Like, come on.
Yeah, like
that to me speaks volumes about the character and the culture of this team on the ice.
Well, it's great that they want to do that for each other, but at the end of the day, it's winning the game. And if they would have missed that goal,
it's great to want to do that when you just came off a 12-game winning streak.
That's the truth.
Okay, yeah. Then I don't have a big problem with it then. And then you lose a game, and then you go 7 games and win in a row. I got no problem then. But when you're coming off like a 7-game losing streak, no. Grab that puck and throw it in the net whenever you get a chance. And that's the culture you've got to start building on that ice.
Call it a day. And you're thirsting for a win, and these guys are monkeying around with a 6-5 lead. and they can bury it to 7-5 and put the game away.
Do you remember the cartoons that we used to watch with the chipmunks?
Yeah, okay.
What were the name of those two chipmunks?
Alvin and
no. It was like
I remember those two. Yeah.
You had that nut. No. You take that nut. Oh no. I insist you have that nut.
What were they called?
And meanwhile, I think the cat is just waiting to eat them or something.
Yeah, they lost their nuts.
Absolutely.
Because they kept arguing about who's going to get the nuts.
And if Suzuki doesn't smarten up, he's going to lose his.
He's going to have be a part of the Nutcracker suite. But yeah, what are those two little chipmunks called?
Somebody please
tell us who the chipmunks
let us know. Make a comment.
Chipmunks are.
When you're subscribing and liking the show.
That's right.
Leave a comment.
Who the chipmunks? Here's a good trivia question. Who were those chipmunks? And
no.
I remember those two.
I insist.
You take the goal. No, I insist. You take the goal.
After you.
6-6.
After you.
It's 6-6. What happened?
Before you know it, the nut's gone.
That's. What the hell were those names? Those two little chipmunks.
And that's what the Habs need to do. They need to play hungry.
Yeah, they can't be chipmunks.
Absolutely.
They got to be wolves.
Hungry, like the wolf.
Hungry like the wolf.
Exactly.
Isn't that a song?
It is.
Hungry like the wolf?
It is.
Yeah, so that was an interesting ending to a game, to say the least. But the whole game was interesting when both goalies got pulled. And Montreal, scored a goal, and then the other guys scored two, and then they'd score two. It was a slobber knocker. If you're ever going to call a game a slobber knocker, that was it. Actually, not a bad game to watch because of all the scoring and everything. That was fun, but
entertaining.
It was entertaining, but it wasn't a very good game for either team.
Like 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I say it was the best of the
It's
AHL.
entertaining.
I said, look at this. We got an AHL game on. I'm going to watch here. It was an extravaganza. Padded the stats of several players. Got the Habs 2 points, but it was ugly. It was pretty ugly, really.
It was ugly, but there was one really bright.
Heineman got a beautiful goal.
Heineman played. Yeah, and Heineman, at one point, and this leads to, let's talk about this game.
Okay.
So
let's break it down.
Heineman's got a goal, which was great. But at one point, Heineman took a puck off his foot, and he was in distress. So he rushed to try to get off the ice, and at the same time, another Hab decided he was going to change too. Which left us open to less men on the ice, and Lane Hudson trying to rush back and watch one of the Sabres put the puck behind Primo.
There you go.
Simple mistakes.
Yeah, you don't let guys in on Primo.
Simple mistakes. If you see somebody else trying to change at the wrong time when the flow is going towards you, don't decide to change as well.
Don't add to the problem.
Come on. Where is your hockey sense?
That's it. And
we have one guy out there with amazing hockey sense. And his name is Slavkovsky.
He did? He had hockey sense?
He must have had 3 or 4 assists in that game.
I don't know, but I know he didn't.
On one of the goals. No, he didn't.
Yeah, let's just.
On one of the goals, I think on Cole's first goal, he was in front of the net. So what happens if Slav's in front of the net and he's fighting with a defenseman, Cole is free. Cole can't handle anybody who's over 6 foot.
No. He's
okay, and that's no disrespect to him. It's just a fact. So Slav is out there fighting with a defenseman. He takes the attention away from Cole. Cole deflects, I think, a Lane Hudson shot into the net. Boom.
Beautiful. At
one point, Slavkovsky threw a puck across the crease to Cole Caulfield, who banged it in on a power play. Beautiful. At one point, Slavkovsky sees an open puck. He does whatever he can. He struggles through the Buffalo defender to get to that puck. He almost throws him over, basically. In fact, people are thinking Slav could have got a penalty for that. He grabs the puck, throws it out to Susie, and we have another goal. I'm so impressed by the way Slav is playing.
Yeah, I missed all that.
Well, it was a slobber knocker.
It was a sloffer,
But
slaffer knocker.
Slab played
Oh,
amazing.
good. Yeah, well, that's good to hear. I missed all that, but I saw
And
the goals, but I didn't notice who was passing to them. I guess.
and that's what's important about like that race to the puck, that aggression to the puck, and that's what we need to see with the Canadians.
Every game.
Tout le monde.
Yeah, and I mean, I appreciate that they won. It was against Buffalo, but what John's talking about is good habits, not just against bad teams like Buffalo, but against good teams too. If they can do that again, it's harder against good teams, I admit, but they're building that habit of doing that kind of thing.
Habit is so important.
The habitant.
And you really nailed it there.
Yeah, right on. That's what it's all about, right? Building good habits and that kind of thing. So that's good. Now, do we want to go and talk about the other games here?
Well, the one thing that
the Devils game,
not really.
No, you don't want to talk about those games?
I mean, the one thing that I really found interesting watching the Leaf game.
Okay, yeah. Okay, let's talk about that.
Was Jack Guy. So Jack Guy at one point, this is my biggest takeaway from that Toronto Maple Leaf game towards the Canadians forming good habits. So Jack Guy at one point has the puck in the Leaf D zone. He's pressing the puck. He loses it as he's going towards the red line. But what does he do? He decides to go behind the Leafs red line, the goal line, and skate behind the net to come back up the ice. Like, there's a shorter way to come back. And if it's shorter, you take the shorter way because it's quicker. And you're a defenseman.
Yeah.
I mean, they're small things, but they all add up to opportunities and mistakes
during the game.
Absolutely. So Montreal as a team is pressing, and it's good to press, but think about what you're doing. They really need to start using their brains.
Yes.
And what you need to do is create mistakes and then take advantage of it.
So are you talking about coaching here?
Absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely. I mean, and like habits and basics. And I think even when I was watching Primo, Primo like led at least I think 2 pucks maybe through the 5-hole. I mean, Primo has a habit of
in the Leafs
of standing up. Standing up.
Leafs game because Sammy played the Leafs.
No,
game.
I'm talking about just
overall
good habits overall now. The last 3 games. So Primo's standing up to see over to see the play, to try to follow the puck, and when he does that, his shoulders come up and his stick comes up too, comes up off the ice. So when he dropped down on that, I think the last goal that he let in before he got pulled, it went right through the 5-hole. Because the 5-hole was wide and the stick wasn't even on the ice. You've got to play with your stick on the ice if you're a goaltender.
True enough.
And
they're going in.
And that's where coaching comes into play.
Primo, right? Like, I'm done. I'm done with Primo. I gave him every chance, and I'm a big Primo
I know
guy.
You're a huge Primo fan.
I wanted him to be the starter. I really did want this kid to be the starter for Montreal. He just doesn't have it. I'm sorry. It's over for him. They've got to put him on waivers, send him down, and bring up either Hughes or Dobish. And if he goes on the waiver wire and somebody takes him for nothing, that's fine. That's fine, because whatever he has, whatever he can do, he's not doing it with Montreal. And we've got to just cut our losses with this guy. We've been 8 years trying to develop him.
But is this the year that you do that?
Yeah. Yeah. Bring up one of these other guys and give him ice time. They're tearing it up in Laval. He can go to Laval and play as a backup down there. But, I mean, we've invested a lot as Canadians, Montreal Canadiens, into this kid. And we've given him chances. And before I said we never gave him a chance to prove himself. Now he's getting chances, and he just doesn't have it. Not with us anyway. So give him another opportunity with another team if they want him off the waiver wire. Send him back to Laval. It won't hurt him to have some conditioning. And let one of these other young goaltenders come up and at least have some NHL ice time. I mean, it doesn't look like we're going anywhere this year anyway.
Exactly. So if we're not going to go anywhere this year anyway, Do we live with the two goalies we have this year? Let the two goalies share ice time in Laval, and Jacob Fowler, who continues to be brilliant in the University League in
At
the
that
United
level,
States
yes.
of America,
Yes.
continue to flourish.
Well, the problem is that Sammy's no better. So now we got double jeopardy with both of them in.
But do we really want to shell shock a goalie getting like 35, 40 shots a game?
Yes. Yes, because we'll find out how good they are. I mean,
You know what? We can't tell right now the way our defense is playing if anybody's any good.
And they're also, you got to also remember too that they're playing in the AHL and they're tearing it up, and they're going to be backups on Montreal. They're going to get the great practice time with a coach, and they're also going to get game time because they're going to play. Out of
I think they're getting pretty good coaching in the AHL.
But it's against AHL players. A big
Absolutely.
difference. It's a big step, and I think they can handle this step up. And we got nothing to lose by bringing them up because if they're going to get NHL experience, but eventually you're going to have to bring them up, and you're going to have to say you're playing, whether it's backup or starter.
Absolutely.
They need the games, and now's the time because this year we're not doing anything. We don't want to try it maybe in a year where we're going to be moving ahead. We want to have it set to move ahead.
You do need a team to be set 20 games in.
Yeah, and I know you're concerned if they get shell shocked or like that kind of thing. But you know what? With a backup role, they know their role, and I don't think they're going to be. And you never know. We've brought up goaltenders before in their rookie year who we thought, oh boy, we're going to put this guy in like a guy named Ken Dryden and another guy named Patrick Waugh.
Absolutely, and we brought Dryden up near the end of the season.
Yes.
Same with
they put him in the playoffs.
And put him exactly. Same with Vachon.
And Patrick Waugh came for the season, and I mean, this is how they develop. And I don't know if they have anything else to prove in the AHL at this point. If they come up and they bomb, bring the other guy up. I mean, I don't think they will, though. I think they're the real deal. I really do. Hughes and Dobish are the real deal. Dobish has been up in preseason and played really well. So I would give them a shot. We got nothing to lose because these two guys together are just, I mean, I think somebody could steal that number one spot in an instant if they showed anything. Right now, Montreal's crying for a goaltender. They're looking on the market to get one. Now, they might be able to get one in the market.
That's not such a bad idea.
Yeah, they're looking right now. There's one guy they're looking at.
I'd rather see them trade somebody like a Primo.
And that would be fine, too.
I'd be much better with that.
I don't think they're going to be able to trade them, though. I don't think they're going to pick somebody on the waiver wire that's a free right now. They went through waivers they could pick up.
Well, then if they pick up somebody from waivers and drop somebody down, I don't have a problem with that.
So we'll see what they do, but I think they got to make a move in goal because these two, I mean, and you said it before, they're not going to be the guys who win us the Stanley Cup. But we need to get through because loss after loss after loss with blowouts.
I think part of the problem is our expectations as fans. I don't think we've really been fed the entire truth. I think that happens more and more in today's world. I think the head office knows a rebuild takes a little longer than
5 years.
They maybe promised us. Yeah.
Yeah.
And therefore, they wanted to keep everybody's hopes up, but it's probably not the best thing to do. I don't think it's even good for the team. Because
no, it isn't.
There's too much distraction right now. Like I want that team to be doing basics. It's like Jack-Eye realizing that, no, I don't want to go behind the net because it's going to take longer to come back. Simple little things like that, if they all add up. I don't want Nick Suzuki playing defense. I don't want that. I don't want Matheson coming back after, as he got caught up on a rush and not knowing which side he should be taking.
That's all coaching. This should be done before games.
But it's not. But this is what I'm seeing in the game on the ice, and this is what we need to address.
Yeah, another deficient area that we're really bad in is the face-off circle. I mean, in that game against the Devils, like we were like terrible in the face-off circle. I mean, and you can't be, because you lose possession of the puck. Your possession time has got to be up to be able to score. The puck's got to be on your
Well,
stick.
puck control too. If you have the puck, the other team doesn't, they're not scoring.
Yeah, that's right.
Puck control is so important.
Yeah, they can't score if you got the puck.
And if you have the puck too, the other team's not like chasing the puck around your end, especially in a second period while you're depleting and your minutes are going up on the ice. You're getting bagged, and they continue to change their players, and now it's much easier for them to actually make an attempt to score.
Right. And, I watched that New Jersey game, and who I was watching was Hughes, Jack Hughes. Put on a real display of hockey that night. It was beautiful to watch him, right? Now, Newhook got a couple goals. Gallagher chipped in his
Gallagher is consistent.
So he's right there, but still we lose 6-3.
And Newhook, yeah, it's nice that he got off for one game.
Yeah, 6-3. I mean, we lost that game again.
And I think we were 3-3 at one point.
Yeah, and you know what? You cannot keep losing faceoffs. I watch them in their own zone at times, right?
Mm-hmm.
They lose the faceoff, goes to the guy over there, he shoots it in the net. You can't keep losing faceoffs. Like, we're like 39% in the faceoff on a lot of nights.
And those become structured plays. I mean, and you saw a goal scored like that in the Buffalo game.
Yeah, and you know what? It also makes teams say, we don't care about this, we don't care about that, because we know we're going to win the faceoff. Right, so if they ice the puck and they come back down, there's no threat from Montreal because they're going to win the faceoff anyway.
And not only that, you can force the play in Montreal's end.
Yeah, exactly, because whatever happens, you force it, and they're going to have a faceoff when they ice it. They have to just clear the zone because they've been tied up in their zone for so long, and then it comes back and you lose the faceoff, Montreal.
But I think there's been too much distraction with this team in general. Like, we've talked a lot about culture and how important it is to build.
Yes, we have.
But at the same point, when you're losing, when you're in the bottom, when you're in the cellar of the league, I don't need to see a Halloween picture online of the team
out for
enjoying
Halloween.
themselves, having a Halloween party. I don't need to see, here's a number of players who played with Shea Weber in his last season at the Hockey Hall of Fame soiree. I don't need to see that. I mean, it's nice Nick Suzuki and Marty St. Louis went there, and whoever else showed up. There were obviously a lot more Canadian players there. And it's great. We had a couple days off, and now we're going to play in Minnesota tomorrow night. But you know what? I think, this is a time to get
down to business.
Do your homework. Like, don't be going out at night. Do your homework.
We got to get down to business.
I wouldn't want to be showing my face at this point.
No, those things are for when we're winning on a winning streak.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, it's business.
And it's great. It's great that Shea Weber is honored, and it's great that he's honored as a Hab, and it's great that we show him the support from the Habs. For that ceremony. But at the same point, let Serge Savard do that. He doesn't have to be on the ice tomorrow.
Right. Exactly. Let Serge go.
Go,
Serge, go.
The rebuild. I mean, what a distraction. I have yet to watch an episode. I don't think you watched an episode, but it must have been a huge distraction.
It's a huge bore because it didn't work.
And the thing is, where are we now?
Why do I want to watch that?
Where are we now? Exactly. What's it going to get us? What's the gain? What's the upside?
If they were winning, I'd be interested.
Absolutely. You want to see that story. It's like Michael Jordan. There was a huge show on Netflix about 3-4 years ago about the Bulls dynasty. Well, the only reason that show was so good was because there was a dynasty.
They won.
Exactly. They won three seasons.
Oh,
he left for 2. He came back and they won another 3.
Yeah. Here's the story of how we rebuilt the Montreal Canadiens, who are now 5-11
in the basement.
In the basement.
What are they going to be talking about? You're going to see Ken Hughes talking to Marty St. Louis going, looks like we're going to have the first round overall draft pick again.
They should rename it.
We took a Slovakian, we took a Russian. Who do we take next?
They should call it the fall of the Canadians, right? Because that's what it's been.
Unbelievable.
So now we go. We got the game at home against Minnesota. Then we go on a road trip: Columbus, Oilers, Vegas, and I don't know who's after that. Somebody's after that, but it's on the road. And it's going to be ugly, even uglier than it is now. We're sitting last in our division, 4 games under 500, and a minus 21, and that's in only 16 games, which is the worst plus minus in the league. We are worse than last year.
Fancy that.
We're doing worse than last year, where we came 28th. Our starting goaltender, he's sitting at a lofty 3.5 goals against with a dismal 890 save percentage. And that's not even close to the starting goaltender level of play. And, you look at these numbers and everything, and you just say, now what? What do we do?
Well, think about this, too. Last year, we were very concerned about Cole putting the puck in the net.
Yeah.
We almost thought, does he have it? Will he be able to function? Is he really going to be a bit of a career player for the Canadians? Well, this year the guy's lighting it up, and we're down in goals against.
Why are we?
Or goals for?
We're down in goals for, yeah. Sure.
We're down in goals for.
We've only scored 67 goals in 16 games.
So, what the hey?
Well, I like your first 20 game. We have like 2 losses in 20 games. That's what John predicted. I like that.
That's what we wanted.
But last year I said about Cole Caulfield, I thought he was going to have a good year this year. And remember I said that last year he gave it up to learn how to play defense, how to play hockey the proper way. And this year he's gonna be out of that
Cole
mode.
Can't play defense either.
And he is.
He can play great hockey now.
No, but a two-way player.
But he's an ozone player. There's no doubt about it. But
definitely.
But you can't expect Cole Caulfield to cover for Lane Hudson.
No, he's going to come back.
One-on-one. He'll come back, but he's dealing with a guy who is got 5-6 inches on top of him, and he just will not be able to control that play.
But Marty St. Louis wanted him to be a two-way player, a complete player.
And that's great. That's great.
And that's why last year I don't think he lived up to his potential for goals. That's what I said last year.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like he's out of that mode now, either because Marty said, well, like you said, he's an O player, so let's just make him an O player. Or
he got the monkey off his back.
Yeah. He
switched numbers and everything's, and the stars are shining down. I don't know.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I said they'd have 7 wins by now. I thought they'd go 500, and they've got 4 wins. And now I've got them losses all the way through. I mean, I don't give them any wins. Now I don't know who they're going to beat. I really don't think so in last place with this record. I can't figure who they're going to beat anymore. They beat Buffalo, and I'm hoping they can beat maybe Columbus.
You'd like to be able to. I mean, what I want to see from this team is less mistakes. I don't want to see big, high-scoring games.
Well, no, and that's what people are saying about they have to play like a more of a trap game, maybe even not the total trap, but just at least be a little bit more responsible with the puck, especially in the center the center of the ice, right?
You shouldn't be trying to create mistakes like on your own, like as a team. You shouldn't be making mistakes. You should be trying to create mistakes, okay? And that's what I want to see this team do. I don't want to see them always playing like giving teams 3-on-1s, 2-on-1s, and guys coming back who are forwards who are expected to take a defensive position. I don't want to see that.
So we're going to have to shore up our defense. They're going to have to play better.
And I think the D has got to be a little more controlled in the ozone. And like I say, you want to go in and do it. One of those goals that Caulfield scored, I believe, with Slavkovsky, there was one goal where Lane Hudson was like coming up, or it might have been a Suzuki goal, and Lane was coming up out of the play, and man, by the time when the puck had gotten into the net, he was there for the celebration. Boom. And that's great. But seriously, we need to be thinking about taking care of the home. Because that's your net is your home, really.
Well, a few comments off the internet.
Okay.
One guy said, "There's nothing to talk about."
Well, there's a lot to there might be not a lot to talk about, but there's a lot to do.
Yeah, that was on Facebook today. There's nothing to talk about.
There is a lot to do.
A lot to do, not a lot to talk about. The other guy said, "Your buddy should be wearing a poppy."
Yes, and you know what? I read that comment, and I did wear a poppy on Monday when I went to the Remembrance Day celebration here at Fairview Cemetery.
Yeah, there you go.
In Niagara Falls. And I was going to actually call you on Sunday or Monday and say, you know what? I'm going to do Habs trivia this week.
Oh.
And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to wait for a year.
To do Habs trivia?
To do Habs trivia. Well, I might do a Habs trivia before then, but I have a specific Habs trivia that I want to do.
In the new year. Or
a year from now.
Oh, a year from now. Okay.
And because of that comment from that gentleman on Facebook or on the internet about the poppy. So he actually inspired me to do a little bit of homework about the Montreal Canadiens.
There you go.
And Remembrance Day. Can you imagine? I will. This isn't going to be the Habs trivia, but can you imagine? At one point, there was a line in Boston, the Boston Bruins, the dreaded Boston Bruins, called the Kraut line.
Yes, the Kraut line. Milt Schmidt.
Exactly, Milt Schmidt.
Milt Schmidt. There's I can't remember the other two, but yeah,
two other guys. They were and they were from Kitchener. I think most of them were from Kitchener, Ontario, which at one time was known as Berlin, Ontario.
Yeah, it was. That's
and
right.
The name of Kitchener, it was changed to Kitchener during the First World War. And
big German population there.
So the Kraut line were playing for the Bruins, and they had decided that the entire line was going to leave the team and go and fight in World War II.
Amazing.
And so at the end of the last game that they played in Boston, the Montreal Canadian team.
Is this
this is true. This is not part of the trivia.
But okay, good. Oh.
Yeah. This is.
We don't want to give the trivia away.
No. This is the trivia will happen next year. This is just an adjunct to the story.
Okay.
And so the Montreal Canadian team put those three guys on their shoulders and carried them off the ice at Boston Garden in salute to their service to their country.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
And I might have read this story a long time ago, but due to your comment, I thank you so much because it gave me the inspiration to go and say, I need to know more about how the Canadians have been affected by the wars.
Right. That's a great one right there.
And so that's a little story. And I can tell you that next year, before Remembrance Day, we'll do a Habs trivia in regards to Habs.
Yeah, that'll be probably show number 200 or so.
Absolutely.
And the other comment was Habs will beat Buffalo or Toronto. The guy was right. They beat Buffalo. So there you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm going to take down these comments as I see them. And
they're great. They're important for sure.
So, I don't know. Bright spots this week. Galley's a workhorse. We talked about that. Weak spots are D's pretty bad. Goaltending is giving them a run for their money on the bad scale. We talked about the numbers and that this week, so not much. But I always thought, like my commentary is, I always said from the beginning, our Achilles heel will be our goaltending, and it's come to fruition. We need to definitely, like I said, put Primo on waivers and get him out of there and bring up Dobis or Hughes. That's my commentary. I think.
I mean, the good thing from a goaltending standpoint is Jacob Fowler is playing extremely well.
Yeah.
Also in the U.S. Scotty Bowman was speaking about him, and he said, what I like about him is he tracks the puck, much like Dryden and your favorite goaltender,
Patrick Waugh.
Carey Price.
I thought you said my favorite goaltender.
Oh. Excuse
said
me.
my favorite
Excuse me.
goaltender. As far as our players go, we have to bite the bullet and clean house. At this point, we were going nowhere fast. Let's put Armia, Anderson, and Dvorak on the waiver wire because we can't trade them at this point. If Hughes can find a trade, good. If he doesn't want to lose them for nothing, give them away for draft picks. At this point, it doesn't really matter. We're going nowhere fast this year, and there are AHL players that need a chance. Wah, ABMB, Mayu, Davidson. They should get some NHL experience for the rest of the year moving forward.
Did Kirby Doc play in the last 3 games?
Who?
Kirby Doc?
I haven't seen him.
I haven't heard his name.
Is he injured? I think he's still on the injury list, no?
And Lanny is back on the ice.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Liney should be back by the end of November, maybe. That's only a couple weeks.
He's skating. That's good news.
Won't hurt.
This will be a very interesting experience to see how he comes back, because he decided not to go under surgery, under the knife, and I wish him all the best.
Yeah, I just hope he doesn't get clocked first
I wish
game.
him all the best.
Yeah, we want him back. We want him on the ice, and we want to see what he can do, because that's one thing we don't know. He is a wild card. We got him for a reason, but he hasn't proved it in the last 4 or 5 years that he's worthy of the adoration we're giving him right now. We know he has the talent. He's done it before, and we're hoping he gets back to his glory days. But there's no guarantee, everybody. So when he comes back, if he doesn't perform, don't get mad at him. We rolled the dice on this guy at best, and we only got 1 more year of him anyway if he doesn't work out. And if he does, we sign him again, and it's clear sailing into the sunset to a Stanley Cup. Okay, la troisième étoile de la semaine dernière.
Well, les troisième étoile. The 3rd star would be, for me, Shea Weber.
Shea Weber, yeah, that's a good one.
You know, I mean, Shea was very humble in accepting his award. The most interesting thing that I read was that Shea Weber, when he was informed that he was traded, excuse me, to the Montreal Canadiens, was like, that's the worst thing that could happen to me. And then
really?
Yeah.
You didn't like that trade?
He didn't like it.
Oh, he didn't like it. Okay.
He was totally upset that he had played for Nashville. He'd give them all these years, and now they were telling him he wasn't good enough to play anymore for the team.
Put him out the pasture.
But as he started to speak to people and learn about Montreal, he started to get excited, knowing that it's just the most amazing place to play hockey. And the fact that people wanted him. And he had a great career for the Habs. So it's nice that a lot of Habs did go to the Hall of Fame in acknowledgement of them. But again, we have our season that we have to deal with currently. And Weber put it all out there. Weber had an amazing career. That's the kind of player we have to win a Stanley Cup.
Yep.
And we have to now look over the roster and say, do we have any Shea Webers on our team? And if we don't,
not yet.
And if we don't, do we have any in our system?
We might.
And if we do, we need to definitely encourage those and take care of them and develop them. Okay? So that's my takeaway there.
The deuxième étoile.
My deuxième étoile, my 2nd star is Slavkovsky. You heard what I said.
Impressed.
I'm totally impressed by the way he's playing. He may not be putting pucks in the net, but without him, the pucks that are going in the net wouldn't be.
And that's a good point, because Caulfield's got 1 assist, so he's not really being a playmaker. So we have Slavkovsky, who's the guy.
He's doing so much.
That's right.
He's taking attention. He's being physical out there. He's going after that puck. Believe me, if that had been Slavkovsky with Suzuki at the end of that game, it would have been a no-brainer. The puck would have been in the net.
Yeah.
There would have been more time left on the game clock. Let me tell you that.
And your 1st star?
And my 1st star, le premier étoile, Brendan Gallagher. He shows up every game. And again, here's a guy who used to watch Montreal hockey games maybe 5-6 years ago, and Gallagher be getting 2-minute penalty. He'd be yelling at the referee. All sorts of crap would be going. That's what you would remember from the game is Gallagher, being in the goalie's face and knocking him down or something, and then a brawl would be breaking out and this and that, and then there'd always be an argument with Gallagher and the referee, and then him getting an extra 2 because of it, and he'd be attracting the attention of the referees.
That's the truth.
Not anymore.
No, he's quietly doing his job, and I love it.
He's grown up.
Yeah.
And he's developed into this amazing hockey player. This is the kind of hockey player that you need on your third and fourth line if you want to win hockey games, because he's delivering. So if the people you expect to put the puck in the net do, Gallagher will chime in every 1, 2, 3 games and make sure that he's taking care of business.
Yep, good points. My 3 stars are number 3, Gallagher, the Energizer Bunny. He just doesn't quit. He just keeps going. I love to see him on the ice. I love him. Number 2 was Susie. He's getting his game back on track. 4 points in the last game, which is good to see that he's getting into the groove again, because we definitely do need him for this team to operate. And like you said, I hope he takes being the captain and gets these guys together and starts straightening them out. That's another question. We hope he's learning that. And my first star is Cole Caulfield, the little rocket man, running around for the Rocket Richard Trophy. I mean, you got to be happy about that, even though the Habs aren't performing. You still got to give Caulfield. He's inspired this year. He's on a mission from God, and he's the little rocket man. And I like that.
I like that.
The little rocket man, right? Sitting first for the Rocket Richard Trophy. Anyway, that's it. John, you got anything else before?
No, I mean that says it all. I mean, we've got 3 games now, I guess.
Yep, we got Minnesota. And, we got what do we got here? I got it right down here. I got this. We got Minnesota, Columbus, and the Oilers.
So I guess Monty is our goaltender for the next 3 games.
I guess, but
I guess. I mean,
I would say so.
It seems that way.
Yeah, because we can't put Primo in. It doesn't look like.
I think Primo's confidence has been rattled.
Oh, definitely.
I think being held out so long between games, remember last week we talked, and I thought Primo should have played that first game, and then Monty, I would have played him against Toronto, which they did, and then I would have played him against Buffalo as well.
I don't think you're going to see Primo in unless it's absolutely necessary after that last experience.
I think Primo's really got to dig deep, and he's got to go back to basics, and he's really got to get his groove going. He's got to get he's just got to do the detail. He's got to go back.
He does have to go back. He's got to go back to Laval
and do the detail.
That's right. He's got to go back to Laval. Okay, but I think you're right. I think Sammy's going to get all 3 starts. They can't fool around this Primo guy anymore, I don't think. But you never know. Who knows? I'm hoping that they put him on waivers. He goes down, they bring up Dobish or Hughes, and we see another goaltender being given a shot here, because we got nothing to lose.
Well, I'm hoping the games get tighter.
Yeah, well, yeah. We need to tighten up big time. We can't give 38 shots and give so many offensive chances to the other team. I think the Toronto game at the end of the first period was 7 shots Leafs. It's possible.
And we had 2 shots, and they were all done by Gooley. It was like 7 shots Leafs, 2 shots Gooley.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, good. At least you're coming from the point, I guess. If you're going to get 2 shots.
If your only 2 shots in the period are coming from your one defenseman, got to look inside and say, what is going on?
Yeah, well.
That's all I can say.
That's why we lost. This is Habsolutely. My name is Paul K. Lemire. We're getting out of here. My co-host,
Jean-Louis Filion.
Au revoir, everybody. And don't forget, subscribe to our channel.
Make comments, because we read them and listen to them.
We do. We take them to heart. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, hit the notification button so that you get notified when our videos go up every week. And we'll be back next week at noon in the studios of 4680Q Radio. And to all our radio people, thank you for listening in.
Go Habs,
And,
go.
go Habs, go, I guess, right? We'll see what happens next week. Are we going to be happy coming in?
I hope so.
Or am I going to be wearing a paper bag over my head?
Never.
We never know. We never know.
Never.
You never can tell what's going to happen on Absolutely. That's the way it is, right?
Ça va.
Ça va. See you later, everybody. Au revoir. Have a great day.